Hey guys, everybody can hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, look like my internet chipped out still. Look like maybe one or two of you guys internet chipped out as well. So I had to reconnect. I had to connect to my other internet actually. My personal internet. The other one is not working. And one of my Nathan just called me to say that his flow disconnected as well. So I figured that maybe some of you guys might be disconnected, but let's start back. I think we took a little break. Everybody feeling okay? Everybody feeling like you want to start back? Ready? Ready again, guys? Let's pick up exactly where we left off at number 5. Yes, let's start off right here, guys. Everybody ready? Can give me a thumbs up, guys? All right, Denise is here. Jaden. Take 3 deep breaths, guys. Take 3 deep breaths. All right, 3 deep breaths, guys, and then we'll continue. I'm gonna be doing a lot today, so yes, let's start back. Let's start back, guys. So let's start with these questions. One moment, guys. I'm just gonna get my pen. All right, guys, so back. Let's continue with this now. So it says here, a diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows 2 straight lines, JK, which is here to here, and JL, which is here to here. And it says here, intersecting a pair of parallel lines. So these lines are parallel, guys. Let me just draw the parallel thing on them. So they're going in the same direction. Cool. EF and GH. So it's kind of easy to solve these now, guys. Yes, it says here. Yes, so these lines are parallel, guys. Let me just draw some arrows on them. So these 2 lines are parallel. They're going in the same direction. Cool. Or let me put a double arrow on them. So both of these are going in the same direction. And then they ask us, the first thing they ask us to find is X, which is this right here. So guys, angles on a straight line add up to 180. So X should be equal to 180 minus 128. So X should be equal to 52 degrees. So that one is really easy. So here should be 52 degrees.
Sir, that's the easiest way to solve it, not just the only, right? Is it the only or just the easiest?
I don't see any other way to solve it right now. You see another way?
No, fair. Just asking. Just in case.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying you're finding 52, and you just subtracted that from 128 to get the 52, right?
Yep, that's all. Remember, angles on a straight line, guys, add up to 180. Angles
Yeah.
on a straight line add up to 180.
To find y, would x and y have to equal 180 since they're along the same line or something like that?
Well, let's figure it out. Let's think about it. Let's think it out. So we found x, guys. If here is x and here is 128, then x would be 180 minus 128. So it's easy to find x, very, very easy to find x. So let's scroll down. The next thing to find is y. So we need to think about this one now. Yeah, we definitely need to think about it. How would we find that y over here? That's something to think about. How to find the y. Okay, we need to think about that one. The lines are parallel. Let's double think this one.
I think it's also 58, 52.
No, it's not 52. So
Because my idea was that they're both parallel, right? Both EF and GH.
it's not 52, Jaden. I just let you know it's not 52, man. So if you're thinking that is 52, it's not. It's
Would
kind of
it-
easy though. It's kind of easy to see.
would it be 38 to add up to 90 or
No, it wouldn't be that either because this is a straight line, guys. This is a straight line.
oh,
So it wouldn't be 38 either. That wouldn't make any sense because 90 degrees would be, yeah, this is not a 90-degree angle, or this whole section is not a 90-degree angle. But let me just explain it to you guys. It's really easy though. Remember, it's parallel lines, guys. These lines are parallel. So because these lines are parallel, guys, this is actually 128 as well. And the reason why is because of corresponding angles. Do you guys know that rule? Let me just show you. Let me give you an example. Yeah, let me give you an example, guys. So let's say you have angles like this. So guys, if here is 128, for example, and here is 52, which is basically what we have here. Here is also correspondent to here. So here is also 128. Sorry, not here. Sorry about that. Not there. Here is also 128. Does that make sense, guys? And here is 52. So right here, that y is actually 128, and here should be actually be 52. Does that make sense? You guys remember this rule? It's like a prep school rule still, to be honest. Like I remember this from prep school, to be quite honest. They call it corresponding angles. So y is equal to 128 because y is corresponding to the other angle. Does it make sense, guys? Let me draw another one. Let me kind of make it different from this.
Sir, I see everything like we have the Z something.
Not really, I wouldn't say that. But can we tell? No, it's not like the Z thing, actually. It's not like that.
Full answer. Then by that rule, if there was an angle right behind the 100 degrees, that would be 80.
I'm trying to show you guys that if here is X, here is also X. Does that make sense?
is it
That's
that
why
corresponding angles equal 180?
No,
Right.
no, the corresponding angles are the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're the same. So I'm just trying to show you, that's why I'm trying to show you on this as well. If here is 128 and here is 52, for example, both of them add up to 180 on a straight line. Here is also 128 as well. Does that make sense, guys? And here is also 52.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you call corresponding angles. These are the same as each other, and these are the same as each other. So that's why y is equal to 128 as well. Make sense, guys?
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, so now they ask you to find W, and that one is gonna be really easy now. So W, we need to find W, which is right here. This one is really easy to find. So guys, if it's a triangle, as you can see, here to here to here is a triangle. And here's 52, like I said. This corresponding angle here should be 80 degrees because 80 plus 100 will give you the 180. Make sense? So if it's angles in a triangle, guys, that would mean that W is equal to 180 minus 52 degrees, which is this right here, minus the 80 degrees. So W would be equal to 48 degrees. Make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And that's it. This one wasn't hard. It wasn't too hard. Wasn't
I
too
got
hard at all. So yes, this was pretty easy. Pretty easy. Also, guys, just letting you know as well, if here is 80, here is also 80, and here's 100 as well. Because if here's 100, here's 100. Corresponding angles, guys, prep school stuff, man. Prep school, primary school. It's not hard, man, not hard at all. The X was easy to find. This was the easiest one to find. The Y was kind of difficult, but if you remember the corresponding angles formula, then not really, it's kind of easy. And that's why I put this here. That's why I put this here, guys, for you guys to remember. Because it's exactly the same way. You have two parallel lines and a line is drawn through it. Same exact thing. Make sense? So give me a thumbs up, guys, if everybody understand these. Are you getting it?
Oh, so it's always the opposite. Ah. Ah.
Give me a thumbs up, everybody, if you're understanding. Anybody not understanding, can you
Wait,
speak
sir, yeah.
now?
Wait, sir, there's another way you could have gotten the 80. Sir, my audio took a rush if you mentioned it. But if you were to do the internal line with the 100 degrees, you'd have the other side would have to be 80 as well. Which you could
But
see that it's the
that's what I said, man. It's angles
I
on a
know.
straight line. So that's the
which
only
is-
way you can do it, bro. It's
I
angles
know,
on a
but-
straight line.
But to find what yeah, what would be behind
There's no
here.
other way, Jaden. It's angles on a straight line.
It is. But what I'm saying is that you say you're trying to find W, the W degrees, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying if the angle behind 100 is 80, right? You could again use the corresponding rule by using angles on a straight line, because if this is 100 degrees, on the other side, sorry, if this is 100 degrees, then the angle on the opposite side has to be 80, the one near H and K. That has to be 80. And if it's corresponding, wait, can I'm not sure if you can see. So just do me a favor, draw a line from 100.
There's no other way, Jaden. You're overthinking it. There's no other way to find this angle other than angles in a straight line. You have to. If here is 100, it doesn't matter if you use the corresponding angle formula here to say here's 100. You'd have to use that angles on a straight line add up to 180 to get the 80 here or the 80 here.
And that's what I was saying.
Yeah, that's why I
If
was
you-
saying to you that you're overthinking it. The only way to get that angle is to say angles on a straight line add up to 180. That's the only way. There's no other way. There's no other way.
Saying it makes sense.
Yeah, there's no
But
other
it's-
way. What actually happens, guys, in this question? So for this example I showed you, where here is 128, here is 52, and so on. What they did here is they just put another line here. That's all they did. And then they said that here is 100. So here would clearly be 80. Am I right? Here would also be 100, and here would clearly be 80. And that's what they ask you. They ask you to find the angle in here, which is W. It's really simple, guys. It's very, very simple. It's not rocket science, you know. It's simple. It's a really simple question, actually. But you have to use the angles in a straight line, and then you have to say corresponding angles. You have to use the corresponding angles to find Y. You have to use the angles in a straight line to find here. Sorry, and the 80. So pretty much every part of the question, guys, pretty much the X, the W, the X and the W, you use the angles in a straight line add up to 180, or angles in a triangle. And here you use the corresponding angle to get that. So here is 128. So angles in a straight line, here is 52, here is 80. And then angles in a triangle, give you the W, which is 48. Really simple. I'm moving on. I think everybody should be okay. We can't spend too long on questions, guys. I think we're overthinking today. So let's look at this one, guys. It says the diagram below shows triangle RST and its image R prime, S prime, and T prime after a transformation. So this is really simple, guys. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off the values for T. So T is 2, 1. R is 2, 3. And S is 5, 3. Cool. So it says here, describe fully the transformation which maps RST onto R prime, S prime, T prime. So guys, if we look at T, we can see that it goes 1, 2 places to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4 places downwards. So for the X value, it's definitely 2. And for the Y value, it's definitely -4. So I think that's the transformation. Yeah, it's a translation. It's a transformation, but in this case, it's a translation for sure. So yeah, if we show all the values, we're gonna get the same thing. 2 plus 2 would give the R over here, and plus -4 would give you the -1, which is right here. So basically, guys, for all of these values of the first one, 2, 3 plus 2 and -4 gives you this R point, which is 4 minus 1. This is equal to R prime. Same thing for S prime. S is 5, 3. If we add it to 2 minus 4, this would be equal to 7 minus 1, which is right here, 7 minus 1, 4 minus 1. And the last one, 2. Yeah, so this is equal to S prime. And the last one here for the T, guys, 2, 1 plus 2 minus 4. This is going to end up giving me 4 minus 3, which is exactly this one, 4 minus 3. So describe fully the transformation. It is a translation with the translation vector as 2 minus 4. Cool. I think that's pretty much it. That's the answer for that one, guys. So it's a translation with the vector as with the translation vector T as 2 minus 4. Cool. That's how we work out this one. This one well easy still. This one well easy to me. Translation vector T is 2 minus 4. So all of them, guys, move 2 places to the right and 4 places downwards, all the points. Does anybody not understand that? Everybody's okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. All right, guys, so we can move on from this then. And let's go down some more to the next question. I think this is really easy, to be honest. But let's look at this. It says triangle RST is reflected in the line x is equal to 6. Cool. So let's read that one more time. Triangle RST is reflected in the line x is equal to 6. So first of all, where would x would be equal to 6, guys? X would be equal to 6 where x is equal to 6, which would be here. X is equal to 6 at that point. So I'm going to draw a line like this, right through x is equal to 6. And it says here, it's reflected in the line x is equal to 6 on the graph above. Draw a triangle R prime, S prime, and T prime, which is the image of RST after the reflection. So guys, if I'm reflecting the triangle here through x is equal to 6, which is right there, this would end up being 1, 1, so my S would be right here. This would be S double prime. My R would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my R would be right here, my R prime. R double prime, sorry. And then my T now would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So my T prime would be right, T double prime would be right here. And when I draw it, it should look like this. And this is what I should get. Cool. Make sense, Jaden?
Yeah, it makes sense because you move the x-axis, so you have to now reflect it as if it was here, but
Yep.
because it's a prime, it's now the double prime.
Yes, it makes sense, don't it? It really makes sense to me. So not too bad, right, guys? Not too bad at all. Everybody understand how to do the reflection here? And it says write the coordinates of R prime. So R prime, guys, is going to be, what is that? R prime is going to be 10 on the x-axis and 3 on the y-axis. So they ask us to write the coordinates for R prime. It's 10, 3. Make sense, guys? Anybody is okay with this? Hey guys, speak up, talk up now, please. Anybody who have any problems, just say, sir, yo, not getting this one. You know, just be real.
Sir, I'm not getting this one.
All right, cool. So what you're not getting though, this is Maureen, right? Or you're not understanding about it?
Yes, yes.
All right, so you
Yes,
understand the translation, right?
um,
Meaning that all of them move 1, 2 places to the right, then 1,
I need to
2,
know how you
3,
get
4.
the 10 and the 3.
The 10 and the 3. It's just the, remember the reflection is here, so R is right here. So to get the 10 and the 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the X value is 10 right here. Then the 3 value is right here. Let me make it blue. You see how I get it now? Making sense to you? You just read the values for the
Sir,
X and the Y.
you count from the 3 go right.
The 3 is just 3
you
on the
count from the 3 go
Y-axis.
right back.
3 on the Y-axis, Maureen. 3 on the Y-axis. They're asking you for the X and Y values on the graph. X,
Okay.
Y. This is the X value, 10.
So
Y value is 3.
okay, and the Y. Okay.
That's all. All right. Anybody else have any issues at all? All right, so let's move on, guys. I think we should be okay with this one now. All right, so this one, guys, pretty interesting one. It says the diagram below shows a graph of the straight line X plus Y is equal to 3, right? Let me go back to pink. X plus Y is equal to 3. Sorry, this is black. X plus Y is equal to 3. So guys, let's put this in the form Y is equal to MX plus C. So this is Y is equal to 3 minus X. So Y is equal to negative X plus 3.
Sure.
So this is the best form to put it in. Y is equal to MX plus C.
Sure.
Go ahead, Adrian.
Sir, you right for your screen?
Yeah, man. You're not seeing?
No.
You guys not seeing me right on my screen?
I will see.
You see the pink? Everybody see the writing? Everybody seeing it? Adrian, you not seeing it?
Oh, sir, see, just come up with notes here.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So yeah, guys, this is the equation X plus Y is equal to 3. So I want to put it in this form, Y is equal to MX plus C, because that makes my life easier. So Y is equal to negative X plus 3. So that makes my life much, much easier. And it says here, determine the equation of the line, which is parallel to the line Y, to the line X plus y is equal to 3 and passes through the origin. So they're basically, guys, trying to say there's a line here that passes through the origin. Let me just show you. This is the line. And this line is clearly parallel to that line. You can see that it's parallel. Both of them are going in the same direction. And they're asking you to write the equation for this line here that's showing right here. So x plus y is equal to 3. What's the equation for this parallel line that I just drew? So the equation is x plus y is equal to 0 still. So that's the equation. So that's the equation for that line, guys. So it's x plus y is equal to 0. So this, if I was to write it in this form, y is equal to mx plus c, it would be y is equal to negative x plus 0. Cool. So that's what they're asking for this
I realize
question.
you quickly got that. So remind me how you've got the y-intercept to be 0.
Why I got the y-intercept to be 0?
Yeah. Because I think
Isn't the y-intercept the place that the line cuts the y-axis?
yeah, I know, but in this
Yeah.
it's specified for it to be 0, the y-intercept.
Meaning, do you have to say y is equal
Because
to minus x plus 0?
what I'm getting from the question is that it asks
Sir, because it's passed through the origin and the origin is 0.
Well, it definitely passes through the origin, so the origin is 0, yeah.
oh, it asks for the origin. Oh, okay.
Well, you can say y is equal to negative x though, you don't have to put the 0. Is that what you're asking, Trey?
No, I didn't get when it said origin, so I was wondering why you picked 0 to be the y-intercept.
Oh,
So
it says it passes through the origin, so it has to pass. It's a parallel line, just like this line, right? So it's just like this line, and said the line is parallel, but it passes through 0 instead. So that's the line. This is the line.
Yeah, I got that. It's because it didn't have, I didn't say origin at first, but now I see origin. So
Yeah, it passes through the origin. So that's it. And then that's the answer. X plus y is equal to 0 because it passes through the origin. And then y is equal to negative x. That's the equation. So it says determine the equation
So,
of the
sir,
line. That's the line. Go ahead.
the origin is 0.
Yeah, the origin is always 0. 0 is
Okay.
always the origin, the middle.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, man. So this wasn't too bad. That one wasn't too bad. And it says here, the perpendicular line parallel. Sorry, the perpendicular line. Sorry, let's just read that question. It says here, determine the equation of the line which is perpendicular to the line x plus 3, x plus y is equal to 3 and passes through the midpoint of AB. So passes through the midpoint of AB. So they're basically asking you guys for the line here, perpendicular to here. So yes, that's the line, guys. They're asking us for the perpendicular line here. That's what they're asking us for. And that one is really easy, guys. The equation of that line is y is equal to x. Yeah, y is equal to x. That's the equation of that line. And it makes sense, guys, because if you want to find the perpendicular line of any line, then the perpendicular line, the gradient is going to be equal to -1 over the old gradient, right? The new gradient. So the gradient here is -1, guys. So to find the new gradient, it would just be +1. Make sense? So they're asking you to find the equation of the perpendicular line that passes through AB. Yes, that's what they're asking you for. So that's it, guys. This is the equation of the perpendicular line here. Can you guys see it though? Are you seeing it? Is it making sense to you guys? That's the perpendicular line, guys. So it obviously would be the opposite of this. So that's the equation, y is equal to x. This is a weird one, guys. So I don't expect everybody to understand this second part. But is it making sense to you guys?
Yeah, it makes sense.
No, sir.
No, sir, no, that one not making sense at all.
Not making sense at all. All right, so okay, so let me just try to explain it. Before we move on, I need to explain it. So let me just explain it. So basically, guys, for this line here, they're asking us to find the perpendicular line at the midpoint between A and B. So if we were to find the perpendicular line, the midpoint is right here, guys. If we were to find the perpendicular line for that midpoint, it would end up being here. Cool. This is exactly where it would end up being. It would end up being right there. So yeah, that's exactly where it would end up being. It would end up being right there. So they're asking you to find the equation of this perpendicular line, guys. That's what they're asking you to find. And if we were to try to find the equation of the perpendicular line, all we need to do, guys, is find the negative reciprocal of the whole gradient. So the gradient here is -1, guys. So we need to find -1 over -1, which is going to give us the gradient as 1. The new gradient that we need for the new graph, for the one that passes through the origin, that one, that same one, that new perpendicular line, that line is y is equal to x. The gradient is 1, so it's 1x, y is equal to x. So yeah, that's basically what we need to do. I don't know if I think I might need to send a video on this in the group in terms of how to find a perpendicular line. I think I've done it with you guys before, but I think it may be best I send you a video so you can like brush up on it. But I think everybody knows how to find the equation of the line. It's a perpendicular line that tends to give people problems. But you need to find the negative reciprocal of the gradient for the old line. So the old line, guys, the gradient was -1, you notice, -1. So we need to find the negative reciprocal, guys. And if we find the negative reciprocal, guys, it's going to be +1. So that's why y is equal to x instead of -x. That's why this is the line that passes through. This is the perpendicular line. Make it blue. This is the perpendicular line, guys. So I'm gonna send a video into the group for this though. I think that's best because it's kind of hard to explain. But it wasn't that much marks still, it's only 4 marks. So let's move on, guys. Let's move on to something else. This has way more marks in it. 2 marks, 2 marks, 1 mark, 2 mark. Let's focus on this to see if we can get this right instead. Don't make any sense to spend too much time on something. So this one, guys, it says the function y is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 3 is defined in the domain this, right? So it says determine the corresponding values. Guys, this is a very easy question, believe me. So guys, it says y is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 3. And these are the values for x. And they give us some of the answers already for the values for y. So all we need to do now, guys, is find the value for y when x is equal to 1. So we're going to get y is equal to 1 squared based on the equation minus 2 times 1 minus 3. And this is going to give us 1 minus 2 minus 3, which is -4. Am I right, guys? So -4 will be right here. And then we're going to do the same thing. Y is equal to, it says here, complete the table by calculating the missing values of y. Y is equal to x squared, which is 3 squared. This 3 squared. Yes, 3 squared minus 2 times 3 minus 3. So this is 9 minus 6 minus 3. And this is going to end up being 0. So this is 0. Cool. So we'll get these values, guys. We'll get the values now. So we'll have all the values for the graph. And it says here on the same axes used in part A on page 16, draw the graph y is equal to x squared plus minus 2x minus 3. So where did they give us though? Where is it? So they're saying on the same graph here, guys. Wow, that's interesting. So they're trying to say on the same graph here, guys, we should plot these values. So let me write the values over here and put them in white. So x is minus 2. Hold on, let me write them this way. X and y values. So when x is minus 2, y is equal to 5. When x is minus 1, y is equal to 0. When x is 0, y is equal to minus 3. When x is 1, y is equal to minus 4. When x is minus 2, well, positive 2, sorry. X is equal to minus 3. When y is 3, x is equal to 0. And when y is 4, x is equal to 5, right? So guys, they're asking us to plot on the same graph above that we have here. We need to plot these values. This is interesting. This is a very interesting question still, but it's kind of easy same way. We just need to put the values on it, guys. So let's just plot it, guys. So let's work it out. Let's plot it together. Cool. So when x is equal to minus 2, y is equal to 5. Let's put that right here. That's the first point. Then when x is minus 1, y is equal to 0. So this is the next point. When x is 0, y is equal to minus 3. So this is the next point. Then when x is 1, y is equal to minus 4. X is 1. Okay, so that's right here. So this is the next point. Then when x is 2, y is equal to minus 3. So that's right here. When x is 3, x is equal to 0. So that's right here. When x is 3, y is equal to 0. So that's right here. And then 4, y is equal to 5. So this is right here. So this is the graph, guys. And if we were to draw it as a curve, we're going to end up with this. Yeah, so that's what we should end up with, guys, when we plot it. So they asked us to plot it, and this is how it should look on the graph. Does this make sense to anybody? Is everybody here with me and understanding? Thumbs up, guys. Can you give me a thumbs up if you're understanding?
I get that. Yeah.
It's really simple, guys. So we just need to plot the graph with the points that they give us. We just need to plot it and then draw a curve. So it says here on the same axis in part A, draw the graph, and it says using the information, complete the following statements. The minimum value of y is equal to x squared minus 2x is equal minus 3 is equal to, okay. So the minimum value, guys, let's go back to the graph just for a second. The minimum value is right here at the bottom of the graph. So the minimum value is where x is equal to 1, guys. That's the minimum value. So the lowest point on the graph, guys, would be considered the minimum point. So when x is equal to 1, that gives the lowest point on the graph. So that's the answer. And it says the values of x for which x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to x negative x plus 3 are, okay. So they're basically asking you for the two values on the graph where the line cuts through it. So the values of x are here. And x is equal to minus 2. That's where the line cuts through it. And where x is equal to 3. Right, so those are the 2 points, guys, when x is equal to, they're basically asking you for the line, for the points, guys, where the line goes through.
The x-intercept? That?
No. They're asking you for the points where this line, x plus y is equal to 3, where it cuts the graph. So they're asking you for here and here, the X values at those points. And at those points is where X is equal to 3 and where X is equal to -2. Here and here. So what are the X values where the line cuts through it? When X is equal to -2 and X is equal to 3. And that's it, you're done. So this is -1, -2, -3, and that's it. That gives you all the marks, guys. It's really simple to me. That gives you all the marks. And yeah, it's done. It's done for sure. Anybody not understanding though? Anybody need some help? Anybody don't want to move on yet?
Could you go back to the graph for a second? I just want to check something.
I was just going to tell her to go back over it again.
Yes, sir.
So let me just go over it one more time, guys. Let me go over it one more time, guys. So everybody understand how to get the values, right? Let me just clear the screen. Everybody understand how to get the values, right? These values here and here.
No, sir, not all the time. Sometimes it's kind of complicated.
It's very easy. It's very easy to get the values. All you have to do is put this 1 into the equation here. So put 1 in there. You're gonna get 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 3. This will give you 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4. So it's very easy to find the values. They always ask you like this, guys.
Okay.
You just put the 3 in there.
Oh,
3 squared minus 2 times 3 minus 3. This will give you 9 minus 6 minus 3. So this is gonna be 0. So that's the easiest part. This is the easiest 2 marks anybody could have ever give somebody on an exam. It's really easy, but you just have to put the values in there to find the Y values.
hold on, sir. Hold on. You go too fast.
It's easy, man. You just have to put the 1.
I understand that you get.
Mhm.
So you
You
just
put the one.
values in the X at the top.
Yep, that's all you have to do. Remember, this is the equation,
Yeah.
guys. Y is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 3. So you just have to put this value in there. 1 will give you the 1 squared. 2
So
minus
instead you
2
put on the
times.
X, or you put on 1.
Yeah, you just put a 1 where the x is.
Right.
And that would
Okay.
give you the Y value. So the first one is 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 3. And this is going to give you -4. The next one is for the 3. You get 3 squared minus 2 times 3 minus 3. 3 squared is 9. -2 times 3 is -6. Minus that, and it's going to give you 0. It's so easy. This is the easiest 2
Yes, I
marks you
just
could have
was
get.
going to ask you. So, sir, I was just going to ask, oh, you get the 0. But now let me see, when you put the line under the 6 and the 9, I just understand. So you
It's
square
really easy,
3,
bud.
and
Yeah,
you
man.
square 2, and then now -3, take away -3, would that be 0?
Yeah, it's really easy, man. This is
Now me
the
understand
easiest
it.
thing. So once you do that, you're good. Now you basically for this now, this part 2, you just need to plot the points. X is equal to -2 and Y is equal to 5. And you just plot the points on the graph. That's what you do next. So for all the values that you have here, plot them on the graph. And once you plot those on the graph now, all of these points, these 2 points, -2, 5, 1, 0, 0, -3, 1, -4, 2, -3, 3, 0.
And
These are X and Y values, by the way, guys. You just
Yes.
plot these, just plot them on the graph. This is really easy, man. I'm telling you.
or you find the 3 and the 0.
See it here, 3, 0.
No, no, sir, on the graph. Find it on the graph, let me see.
It's really easy, guys, really easy. Let me rub this out. So let's plot the points. It's really easy to see. Let's plot the points, guys. It's really, really easy. X is equal to -2. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. So everything here has to be x. When x is -2, y is equal to 5. So -2, y is equal to 5. This is the first point. Next point. When x is -1, this is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. That's right here. This is the next point. When x is 0, which is here, y is equal to -3. That's right here. That's the next point. When x is 1, y is equal to -4. That's right here. This is the next point. 2, when x is 2, which x is 2, y is equal to -3. So that's right here. 3 and 0, when x is equal to 3, y is equal to 0. That's right here. And the last point is right here. When x is equal to 4, y is equal to 5. And then you draw a curve, guys. You draw a curve through it. And that would be a graph. The curve don't look too neat, but that's how you do it.
Yeah, I always wondered this when x is -2, y is 5, right?
When x is -2, y is +5, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
So from the line, then why is it on -1?
when y is +5, x is -2. It's really obvious. Oops, sorry about that. It's really obvious, guys. So obvious. See it here?
Sir, me gonna exit and join back.
All right, cool.
Wait, but my question is, why is it on -1 if it's -2?
It's not on -1. This -1 is right here. -1 is right here.
Sir, what, the 3 and the 0, you circle the 3, but where the 0? We want to know where you find the 0.
So this 0 here,
Where?
here, right where I drew that line. This line I just drew is where x is equal to 0. This line I just drew is where x is equal to 1. This is where x is equal to, well, no, sorry, that's y. This line is where x is equal to 0, right? The line I just drew horizontally. No, sorry about that, guys. Let me start from the top. Let me repeat what I was saying. Sorry about that. This is where x is equal to 0, guys, this vertical line. This is where x is equal to 1, this vertical line. This is where x is equal to 2, this vertical line. This is where x is equal to 3. So for this one over here, where x is equal to 3, y is equal to 0, x is equal to 3 right there. I don't know, yo, you guys don't know how to plot points though. Like, this is not good. You know, you need to know how to do that still. It's kind of really easy. I don't think I should be explaining this, to be honest. You should know how to plot points. You should know how to say -2 is here on the x-axis and here is 5. You should know how to do that. I shouldn't be explaining that to you. You should know. If you don't know, you need to watch like a video on it or something. But I can't sit and explain this. This is basic. This is like basic stuff, guys. Basic, but you should know. I don't know how you don't know. Like, you should know how to plot x and y values. All right, let's do an example. Where on the graph is 5, 5? Where the x value is 5 and the y value is 5. X is 5 right here. Y is 5 right here. That point is right here. You guys should know how to do that, you know?
Yeah, that wasn't my question. Like maybe my screen was delayed because when it said y is 5, that I got. When it said that x is -2, I was thinking, all right, then it would -2 would be right where where both of them intersect right there. But on my screen, it was on over -1, not -2. That's why I was confused.
I get you. But you should be able to plot it, guys. Like it's really easy. As I said, if you get a question like this on the exam, it should be easy to you. Okay, you just have to plot the points. Plot the points, draw the graph. And then this part was the more difficult part to me, where it says the minimum value, but it's still kind of easy to see that on the graph is where x is equal to where x is equal to 1. That's the minimum value. Yeah, it should be able to, you should be able to see it. Let's go back to the graph. Let's draw the points again. So the points were pretty much here, 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 and here. These are the points. So yeah, you can see that the minimum point is here, meaning that the lowest point on the graph is where x is equal to 1. So yes, this is the minimum point, guys, where x is equal to 1. That's the minimum point. It's the lowest point on the graph, guys. I think that makes sense. So they asked us that in the question. Find the value, the minimum point, that's where x is equal to 1. And then they also asked us, where does the line cut the graph? Where does this line here cut the graph? And the line pretty much cuts the graph at here, this point. This was one of the points, 3, where x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 0. So that's pretty much where x is equal to 3. And it also cuts the graph at where x is equal to -2. So here and here, that's where it cuts the graph. So they ask you for the x values for where it cuts the graph. And that's it, where x is equal to 3. Well, yeah, and x is equal to -2. So guys, I'm not gonna spend no more time on this. We need to move on still. So let's look at this question now, guys. This one not too bad. So yes, we get 4 marks, guys, just for tallying this out. So this is very, very, very easy. Let's look at this right now. Oi, I'm back. All right, so let's look at this right now, guys. Let's look at it really quickly. We have other stuff to do, so we need to kind of really move on. This one, guys, it says here, 25 bags of sugar were weighed. The weights are as follows. So we need to tally the between 1 to 10 weights. 3 is 1. 8 is 1. And 5 is 1. So there are 3 here, number of bags, 3. This one is 11 to 20, 11, 12, 1, 2, 17, 3, 18, 4. Well, that's it, nothing else. So 4. Then 21 to 30, 21 to 30, guys, 22, 23, 1, 2, 26, 28, 4, 21 to 30, 35. So this is 5. All right, then 31 to 40, 31, 33, 35, 39, 38, 38. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the last one is 43 to 50, 43 and 50. 1, 2. So 2, 6. When you add them up, let's add all of them up, guys, just to see. 8 plus 5 is 13. So there are 20, right? 20 bags of sugar. So cool. So we're good now. So the next one here says, so tally this up, guys. Tallying up this gives us 4 marks, right? That's a whole heap of marks. So I'm just trying to show you guys, yo, don't spend too long on questions that just don't give you a lot of marks. Like, you know, try to do the easy stuff first on the paper, guys. Always do the easiest questions first on the paper, the easiest to you. Don't spend too long on a question that's not gonna give you a lot of marks. Cool. So since we finished that now, guys, it says find the upper class boundary of the class 21 to 30. Do you guys remember how to find the upper class boundary? It's really easy, guys. So for this class, 21 to 30, how do you find the upper class boundary? You use the upper one, the 30, and add it to 31. 30 plus 31 and divide it by 2. So the upper class boundary is going to be 30.5. So this one is really easy. I don't know if you guys remember how to find the upper class boundary, but I'm just reminding you, it's always the higher one plus the one in front of it divided by 2. Suppose they ask us for the lower class boundary, guys. For the same class, I'm just reminding you, it would be the lower one plus the one before it divided by 2. So it would be 21 plus 20 over 2, which is 20.5. But they asked us for the upper one, which is the 30 plus 31 divided by 2. Cool. So upper class boundary easy to find, guys. It's always the upper value plus the one in front of it there, divided by 2. Cool. And then the class width, no, even easier to find. Class width, guys, you can always subtract 2 consecutive numbers. So 31 minus 21 would be 10. So 10 is the class width. Cool. But for the class width, guys, just as a reminder, never subtract 30 from 21, meaning two ones that are beside each other to get 9 as a class width. Never do that. Always subtract 2 consecutive numbers. Any 2 consecutive numbers, guys, meaning 30 minus 40 will give you the class width. 50 minus 40 will give you the class width. 21 minus 31 will give you the class width. But don't subtract the numbers beside each other to get the class width. Cool? Cool, guys?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so the midpoint now, it says the class midpoint. How do we calculate that one? Trying to remember. Trying to remember, guys.
Wait, sir, like for the midpoint, yeah, lower class, upper class, lower class, upper class, plus. Yeah. Lower class limit, upper class limit.
So guys, I think the midpoint, how do we calculate the midpoint now? It's a good question.
Lower class plus upper class. Up, so, and yeah, pretty much like the lowest and the highest.
The lowest and the highest? I'm confused, man. Let me think about it.
It's subtracting the lower class limit. You're adding the lower class limit and the upper class limit. The lowest I can go into the class itself.
Well, the class midpoint is 5.5. That's the class midpoint, guys. So I think this is maybe the upper class boundary minus the lower class boundary divided by 2. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agreed on those things.
Yeah, so the upper class boundary here is 30.5 minus 20.5. That would end up giving me 10 though. 10 over 2, which is 5. No, I'm getting 5. So I'm trying to figure out this class midpoint here. I'm trying to remember what the formula is. The lower class limit plus the upper class limit. This is for the same class though, right? 1 second, guys. I know it's 5.5, but I'm trying to make sure I explain it properly. But why would the midpoint be there? It's something to think about still. It says here for the class interval 21 to 30.
Sir, and at the starting points and the end points are divided by 2.
Meaning 21 plus 30 and divided by 2. This makes sense to me. That seemed like the midpoint for that class. 21 plus 30 divided by 2. So it would be 25.5. I think that would make sense. I think the midpoint for the first class is 5.5. But yeah, 21 plus 30 divided by 2. That would be 25.5. That would be the midpoint for that class. I think that makes perfect sense. But in the answers, it's showing me 5.5. It's kind of unusual. You know, it's a little unusual to me. Seems like 9. So I think it would be 25.5 still. That's the, I think. Let me just double check though. Let me just make sure. Midpoint is in the middle, right? What's the middle between 21 and 30? 25.5. You guys understand what I mean?
Yeah, trying to find like the middle between the two.
Yeah.
Because if it was like just flat 20, like like multiple of 10, multiple of 10, it would just be a flat number like 20 or 25.
I think it's 25.5 still. I don't think they have the right answer in the solutions. I think it's 25.5, but let's move on, guys. Let's move on still. So it says here on the grid on page 19, using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 10 kilograms, draw a histogram. So this one kind of easy, guys. 19, page 19. Where is that grid though? I'm not seeing the paper. But basically, guys, they're asking us to draw a histogram now with this. So I would have to draw a histogram, guys. This is the histogram would look like this basically. Would have to draw it. It wouldn't be too hard to draw though. But I don't really see the graph that they're asking me to draw it on. I guess there was a graph to draw it on. But this 4 marks, guys, it should be easy to draw the histogram though. It should be really easy. Page 19, is there a page 19 here? Page 18, page 20. All right, so they skipped that. For some strange reason, they skipped that page in this set, but we'd need to draw a histogram for it, guys. So yes, we'd have to draw a histogram, guys. So if we were to draw a histogram, let me use, I wish I could draw it though. I really wish I could draw it. We'd have to use the values from here, guys, to draw it. I remember this being 3, 4, 6, 2, and I think this was 5. I think so. Yeah, that was it. So this is it, guys. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2. So if we were to draw a histogram, guys, we'd start off with 3. And then we'd have 4. Then we'd have 5. Then we'd have 6. And then we'd have 2. And this is how the histogram would look. This is how it would look, guys, when we draw it on a graph. Here would be 3, of course, 4, 5, 6, and then 2. And we draw the X and Y axes and so on. But this is how the histogram would look, guys, when you finish drawing it. You can draw it to the edge too, like meaning that you can start your 3 over here if you want. But this is how the histogram would look on a graph. Cool. And that would give us the 4 marks. And use the right axis. It says 2 centimeters on the x-axis and 1 centimeter on the y-axis. So here would be 1, 2, 3, and so on. Here has to be 2 centimeters thick for each bar. Yeah, man, kind of simple. Really simple, actually. This is how you draw it, guys. It's kind of really simple still, well simple to be honest. You just have to make sure you put that on a graph paper. Cool, so we're done with number 7 now. Number 7 wasn't so hard at all. And then let's look at this one now, guys. So this one, guys, it says the diagram below shows the first 3 figures in a sequence. Each figure is made up of knots. So the first one has 2 leaving from it, and then the next one has 2 leaving from it, and then 2 leaving from it again. And then the next one has 2 leaving from it, and then 2 leaving from it, and then 2 leaving from it again. So the last one, guys, would be 1, 2 leaving from it, 2 leaving from it, 2 leaving from it. Then point 2 leaving from it, point 2 leaving from it, point 2 leaving from it, point 2 leaving from it. So the last thing now, guys, would be, let me make them black. 2 leaving from it, 2 leaving from it, point 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 2 leaving from it, and point 2 leaving from it. So I think that's how it would look, guys. Well, let me draw it better still. Sorry about that, guys. Let me draw it better. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So guys, I think it should look like this still, you know. It's kind of easy, guys. You just have to draw this here, this same one over here, and you're gonna take it a next string. So these 2, you'd add on 2 here. You need to add on some here, and then these would have additional strings. So this is how it's supposed to look, guys. That's how it's supposed to look. Cool. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir,
Go ahead.
kind of, you said easy, but I kind of not understand now.
It's just a pattern. It's a pattern, Marine. You can see it.
So
The first one has 2 strings.
Uh-huh.
The next one, the 2 points,
Has-
the end of these 2 points have 2 more.
Right, that is
So the
4.
same thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this one, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 have 2 more. So for the last one, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 should also have 2 more. That's the next figure.
That's the thing, sir. How would you know to put on 2 more, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12?
Because that's what it shows. It's a pattern, don't? If this one showed 2, then this one showed 2 additional ones on those. And this one showed 2 additional ones on those. Then the next one is 2 additional ones on the ends. That's the next pattern. It's a pattern. It's so easy to see. It's really a pattern. You can't miss it. So if they always just add 2 to the ends, that's what they keep doing here, you know. They add 2. So this is figure 2 now. I added 2. Then the next figure is add 2 more. Add 2 more. So this I'm showing here is figure 3 already. Then all you have to do for the last 8 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, is add 2 more. It's very easy, guys. It's like a pattern. It's very easy. So it's so easy, so easy. So that's how the last figure would look. You draw it down here. And that would give you how much marks? 2 marks to draw the figure. So after this now, guys, it says here, the table below show the number of knots and strings and blah, blah, blah. The knots and strings in each figure used to draw figures 1, 2, and 3. So complete the table by inserting the missing values and rows. So guys, here it says 1, 1 gives you 3. 2, 3 gives you 7. 3, 7 gives you 15. So 4, what would 4 be, huh? This is something to think about.
So you wouldn't put that in our equation.
Not really. It's more of a pattern. So I don't need an equation just yet. Go ahead.
Sir, me know it as me that put it like say the 2 go up by 1. And that's what you say that's it. The 1 in that like the number of knots, right? It go up by 2.
Yeah, that's what's happening. It always increased by 2 on each. So figure 1 has 1 number of knots and it ends up being 3. Figure 2 has 3 numbers of knots, so it ends up being 7. Figure 3 has 7 knots, so it ends up being 15. Figure 4 would have how many knots? So there's a pattern, guys. We just need to kind of
2 times 3.
So-
no.
No, yeah, no, I think it's like 2, 4, right? 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 4, 7. Maybe you would have put another one like that. Pattern
Sir,
continue.
go ahead.
sir, so if you put in the equation, sir. Yeah, you will say no, sir.
I listen, yeah, man.
Sir, so if you put in the equation, sir, if you get the 4, so you put as 2x, and like when that go by the 1, so that's a 2x minus 1. So 2 times 4 gives 6. 4 times 4 gives 16. And that's square. And you get minus the 1. You get 16.
Well, guys, I think the pattern is actually a geometric sequence. So the pattern is actually 2 to the n minus 1. So yeah, I think that's the pattern. I think that's a pattern for this one, for this section here. So yeah, I think for the second one, guys, it's 2 to the n minus 1. It's a weird pattern still. It's kind of weird to see. So this would be what? 2 squared minus 1, which gives you the 3. 3 squared minus 1. Well, no. 2 to the 3 minus 1, which gives you the 7. So this would be 2 to the 4 minus 1, which should be 15. So 15 should be here. 15 should be here. Yeah, it should be 15 knots there. Yeah, it definitely should be 15 knots there, guys. Yeah. And then this should be 31, guys. This should be 2 to the n plus 1 minus 1. So this should actually be 2 to the 5 minus 1, which should actually be 32. So this pattern is not that easy to see still, to be honest. Not that easy to see. Guys, can you mute your mic, please? Please mute your mic. Please mute your mics, guys. So yes.
Sir, so many do that something. So then type of equation set this.
I get you. If you're supposed to use a, yeah, well, you can use an equation, you know, but you can also just use common sense as well. So they basically ask you, they didn't ask you for a formula. They just ask you to find, they just ask you to find the values for when it's 4 and when it's those. So we can use a formula, you know, but you don't really have to. You just need to see the pattern. This is a pattern type question still. So they give us 4. How much would 4 be? If 3 is 7 and 15, how much would 4 be? That's a good question. You know?
I mean, okay, so obviously the number of knots is 2 times itself plus 1. That's pretty evident.
Yeah,
right?
2 times itself plus 1. That's what you're saying?
Mhm.
No,
That's how you-
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say 2 times itself.
Oh,
No,
well,
it's not that obvious either.
But knots to strings. Okay, look, if it's 2 times 1, you get 2 plus 1. 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7. 7 times 2, 14 plus 1, 15. Right?
Right. So everything you multiply by 2 and add 1. That's what you're trying to say.
And this is the opposite where it's 2
Two-
n minus 1. Where it would be 4 times 2 equals 8 minus 1 gives you 7. You then take that number, multiply it by 2 and add 1. That's how you get the pattern. So it's actually just 2n minus 1. Then the other one is 2n plus 1. In that order. It works.
Yeah, but it's not so easy to see. That's why I'm saying, like, when I tell you it's 2n minus 1, it's easy now, but could you do it without it? Could you find the pattern without it? That's the question.
Yeah, if you look at it row by row, if you take in account all 3, you're like, oh. I guess some people would be hard if they don't see it right away.
Well, this is another thing I see as a pattern, guys. So I'm just trying to show you that you wouldn't get this 2n minus 1. So most people wouldn't see that. Most people would not see that and get it. So I don't really want you to figure it out that way. But I'm gonna show you a pattern still. This is 1, 1, 3, right? You notice that this 3 is the same as this 3. You notice that this 7 is the same as this 7. So I know this is 15 because this is definitely this one. Does that make sense? That's a pattern. That's definitely a pattern. So I would have find this as 15 because I notice that this 3 always ends up here. This 7 always ends up here. This 15 always ends up here. That would definitely be a pattern for me. Does that make sense to anybody? So I'm just trying to show you, not
okay,
everybody's
after the
gonna figure out the
pattern,
whole 2n
3.
minus 1. Not everybody's gonna figure that out. So you really just need to look at the pattern and say, how can I figure out this pattern?
I know, but sir, you'd realize something.
And then another thing with the pattern too, if you guys don't notice, I notice here that this one over here is always times this one, 2 times this one plus 1. So 2 times 1 plus 1 gives me 3. 2 times 3 plus 1 gives me 7. 2 times 7 plus 1 gives me 15. 2 times 15 plus 1 gives me 31. So I'd put 31 there.
Just have to ask you, sir, what the number for over this is. So, okay, so 31, I'll come back down.
So for
below the
this,
15.
which one are you talking?
No, I'm saying that the 31 that you just write down, sir, it's going to be.
It's going to be,
down
it's going to be
31
here.
right
It's going to be
here.
here because it's whatever this number is right here, it's 15. To get the number to the right, I have to multiply it by 2 and add 1. So that's why I get 31 here. I'm not using no formula in my head. I just seen a pattern.
Okay, sir, but I'm asking if the 31 that you just got, if it's going to be under the 15, you're going to write back the 31, seeing that you have 3
about,
pattern
number 2.
flows.
What, here? Down here, you mean? Oh, here?
Yes.
No. It would be different
So you're
there.
going to put on the 31.
It would be different
under the
now. It would be
15.
different. So what I would do is this. What I would do, I'd write them out, guys. So I would write 5.
Oh.
I'd write 5, and then I would write 31. Then 31 times 2 is what? 62 plus 1. So I'd say 63. Then I would say 6 is what? 63. 63 times 2 is what? 126 plus 1, 127. That's what I would do. 127. Then 7 now. 7 is going to be 127. 127 times 2 is how much? 127 times 2, 150. No, 254. 254 plus 2. Plus 1, sorry, which would be 255. So I know that that one would be 7. Does it make sense, guys? You guys see now how to get the pattern? Is it making sense to you guys now? So this one would definitely be 7, 127, 255. Cool. And then it asks us for 10 down there now. So how would I find the 10? I would do the same thing, guys. I would just set, so boom, 8 is 255. 255 times 2. 255 times 2. This would be 510. Am I right? 510 so plus
255.
1. So this would be 511. And then 9 now. Let me put 9. So 9 now is going to be 511. Well, I
Five-
kind of put it in the space
plus-
still. But let me for the sake of the question, guys, let me just rub this out and put 9 and then put 10 down here. So 9 would be 511 here. 511 times 2 would be
by 2.
1022 plus 1, so it's 1023. And then for the 10 now, which is the one that asking us to find, I would put 1023, multiply that by 2, that would be 2046 plus 1, which is
Plus 1.
2047. And that would be my answer. So I would fill out the whole pattern without any formula. I wouldn't come up with 2n minus 1 and stuff. That's just too difficult, you know. I would just look at the pattern and say, oh, I see that. Here's what I would do. I would look at the pattern and say, oh, I noticed this 3 always match this though. This 7 always match this though. This 15 always match this. So the next one here, that's what I would do first. Then I would say, okay, I noticed that this one is always 1 times 2 plus 1, 3 times 2 plus 1 times 2 plus 1. That's what I would look for. So that's what you want to look for, guys. You want to look for those patterns, you know. If you can write out a formula for it, fine. The formula, guys, is actually 2 to the n minus 1 and 2 to the n plus 1 minus 1. But I guarantee you guys that you're not gonna know it. You guys not gonna get this 2n minus 1, which is why in this question, they didn't ask you for the formula. There's some questions where they ask you for the formula, but this one is just genuinely too difficult. Like if you don't reach CAPE level, you wouldn't know this formula, which is why they were fair in the question to not ask you the formula. Because you guys just would not get these formulas. It's true. You guys not at that level yet. That's like CAPE level or university level. But it's kind of easy for you guys to just pick out the pattern though. And that would give you all the marks. Make sense, guys?
10 marks.
Yeah, it's a lot of marks I give you, you know. 8 marks, basically 10
Sir,
marks.
I wouldn't even realize that there was a pattern there.
But that's what I keep saying, guys. With these investigation type questions, you have to look for the pattern. You really just want to pick up a pattern.
Oh.
You know, you don't really want to use if they ask you for the formula, then fine, you can figure out the formula that's there, but they didn't ask you for a formula. They ask you to just finish the rows, finish the 10, which one will be 255 here, that one will be 7. They just want you to finish the spaces. So you need to just look at the pattern, you know. So yeah, guys, it's just one of those questions still. All right, guys, so I think we should take a break now. I'm tired still, but I want to finish up this now. I want to finish up this 9. Well, should we take a break, or let's just finish up this real quick?
10 minutes.
Short break, guys.
5.
We're doing this
5
question.
minutes,
We're doing
yeah.
this paper long though. Like usually I finish papers much quicker than this. We're doing this paper really long. I don't know what it is. But we can take a 10-minute break still.
Okay, sir. I'm up
Let's
for
take a
that.
short break, guys. We're going hard still. and then I want to finish section 2. So let's take a break, guys. Agree, stretch. So stretch. Let's take a stretch. All right, guys, let's start back. Sorry about that, guys. You know, I always like to stretch in my break. So everybody back with me. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it so much. I really appreciate it, guys. So let's finish up. Let's finish up this paper 2, please. And then let's jump into our paper 1. Cool. Yes, let's finish up really quickly. Everybody can thumbs up with me. Let me give myself a thumbs up. Reactions, thumbs up. All right, so I just thumbs up, guys. Everybody can thumbs up if you're with me and ready to go. Let's finish up, guys. Only 3 thumbs up so far. Everybody else ready? 4 thumbs ups. Okay, guys, so let's continue from where we left off. So, okay, so this one here, guys, number 9, it says here, functions f of x and g of x are defined as f of x is equal to 2x minus 7 and g of x is equal to x squared plus 1. So the first one says, find the inverse for f of x. That's really easy. Remember the first step to find the inverse, guys. Let y equal 2x minus 7. That's the first step. Let y equal to the f of x. Cool, Shana K is with me, great. So the first step is let y equal to the f of x. That's how you find the inverse. Then after that, you want to make x the subject to the formula. So you're going to say y plus 7 is equal to 2x. And then x is going to be equal to y plus 7 over 2. So that's the second step, make x the subject. And then the third step to find the inverse, guys, is switch the y with an x. Change the y to an x. So we're going to say f to the negative 1 of x is equal to x plus 7 over 2. So that's the inverse, guys, x plus 7 over 2. Cool, so that one was pretty easy, the first part to find the inverse. So remember, guys, the steps to find the inverse, the first step is let y be equal to the equation f of x. And the second one is make x the subject. And after you make x the subject, guys, you change the y to an x. Cool. And then you say f of x is equal to the change, right? And that's it. F to the negative 1 of x, sorry, is equal to the change. So those are the 3 steps to find the inverse, guys. So that's not too bad. So we found the inverse there, guys. The x is equal to, it's equal to, the inverse is equal to x plus 7 over 2. Now we need to find the inverse for the g, right? So we need to do the same thing. Let y equal x squared plus 1. So that's the first step, let y. The second thing to do is to say y minus 1, we need to make x the subject of the formula. So y minus 1 is equal to x squared. And to find this answer, of course, we need to find the square root of both sides. So we're going to get x is equal to the square root of y minus 1. Cool. And then the last step, guys, is to change the y to an x. So g to the negative 1 of x, right, is equal to the square root of x minus 1. And this is the inverse for g. So they asked us to find the inverse for f and the inverse for g. We did that. We followed the 3 steps. The first step is to let y equal to f of x. The second step is to make x a subject. And then you change the y with an x, and then you let the inverse be equal to the answer. Cool. So we found 2 inverses, guys, for this question. Kind of simple, not too hard. Everybody can give me a thumbs up. Let me give myself a thumbs up with this one. Let me give myself a thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, guys, thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, Adrian, nice, thumbs up, thumbs up. I'm seeing some thumbs up. So this one wasn't too bad, guys, just to find the inverse. If you don't remember this, guys, I'll send a video into the group of how to find the inverse of a function. It's really not too bad. Cool. So cool. So we found the 2 inverses now. Now, the next thing they ask us to find, guys, is f of g of x, cool, which is a composite function. I don't know if you guys remember. So f of x, let's just look at the function first. So f of x is equal to 2x minus 7. And g of x is equal to x squared plus 1. And they ask us now, instead of the inverse, guys, they ask us to find f of g of x. So remember composite functions, guys, you tend to put, you're supposed to put the g into the f. So you're going to actually put the g into the f. So we're going to end up with 2 times x squared plus 1 minus 7. And this should give us 2x squared plus 2 minus 7. So f of g of x, guys, is equal to 2x squared minus 5. So that's the answer for this one, guys. F of g of x is equal to 2x squared minus 5. Cool. So that's how you do it, guys. You always put the one here into the other. So here we need to put the x squared plus 1 into the x here. Cool. So that's exactly what we need to do. If you don't remember this, guys, I have videos on this as well, the composite functions. Cool. All right. So cool, guys. So the next thing now, guys, says find f to the g, f to the g, the negative, the inverse of f to the g of x. Cool. So guys, we need to find the inverse of that. So how do we find the inverse, guys? Remember, we just found fg of x. Cool. So we're gonna use the same steps to find the inverse, guys. Let y be equal to fg of x. So y is going to be equal to 2x squared minus 5. That's the first step. The second step is to make x a subject. So we're going to say y plus 5 is equal to 2x squared. And we divide both sides by 2 to get rid of the 2. So x squared is going to be equal to y plus 5 over 2. And the last thing, we need to find the square root of both sides. So x is going to be equal to the square root of y plus 5 over 2. And then, so we made x the subject here. Second step is make x the subject. Then the third step now is to change the y to an x. So f to the g to the negative 1 of x is going to be equal to the square root of y plus 5 over 2. Cool. So that's the answer for this one, guys. Y, the square root of y plus 5 over 2. That's the answer for f g to the negative 1.
Wouldn't you switch back the y to an x?
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. The last step, of course, is that you change the y to an x. So this should be x. Yeah, here should be x. Sorry about that, guys. I skipped that step. Yes. So this is the inverse, guys. F to the negative of f of g of x is the square root of x plus 5 over 2. Cool. Yes. So all right, guys. So that wasn't too bad. I don't think this was too bad. I think this was okay. This is a lot of functions though. Cool. So the last step now, guys, the last thing to do, it says here, show that f g to the negative 1 of x of 5, sorry, is equal to g to the negative 1 f to the negative 1 of 5. So this is an interesting question still. But guys, remember we just found f to the g of the negative 1 of 5. Well, we found it of x just a while ago, right? And I think it should be equal to the square root of x plus 5 over 2. Am I right? I think that's what we just got for it. So if we put a 5 in there, guys, it says to put a 5 in there. We're going to end up with the square root of 5 plus 5 over 2, which is going to be equal to the square root of 5. Yeah, square root of 5. That's going to be the answer. So we just found this a while ago, guys. So all we need to do now is put the 5 in there, and we're going to get the square root of 5. Now we need to find g to the -1 and f to the -1 of x, because we didn't find this yet still. We really didn't find it yet. So we need to find that, guys. We kind of need to find that. So let me just give you a recap, guys. F to the -1 of x is equal to x plus 7 over 2. We found that earlier. And g to the -1 of x is equal to the square root of x minus 1. We just found these two earlier. So to find this, guys, g to the -1 of f to the -1 of x, that means we'll have to put the f into the g. So that means we're going to put this into that. So we're going to end up with the square root of x plus 7 over 2 minus 1. Cool. That's what we're going to end up with. And then we're going to put a 5 in there now. So we need to set g to the -1, f to the -1 of 5. And we're going to put 5 where the x is. So we're going to get the square root of 5 plus 7 over 2 minus 1. Yes. I think so. Am I right? Let me just make sure though. F into the G. Yeah, so this is gonna end up being, guys, the square root of 5 plus 7 is gonna give us 12 over 2. So this is going to be 6 minus 1, the square root of 6 minus 1, and that would give us the same thing, the square root of 5. So this shows, guys, that both of them are equal. F of g to the -1 of 5 is equal to g to the -1 of f to the -1 of 5. So I end up with the same thing. 5 plus 7 will give me 12 over 2, which is 6. And I end up with the same thing here. So I'm not gonna lie, this was a lot of functions too. This was just a lot of functions in this question. A whole lot of functions. Anybody can give me a thumbs up? You're feeling overwhelmed by this? Should I send you some videos on this, guys? Talk to me. Is this manageable?
Yes, sir. Some video.
Send some videos. All right. So
Yes, yes. The video.
I'm definitely going to send some videos on this. I'm gonna send the inverse and the composite functions for this. How to find the inverse of a function. And composite functions, I'm gonna send both of those. Yes, I'm gonna share and send 2 videos into the group. One for the inverse and one for the composite function. Yes. Yes, for sure. So I just sent them into the group. I just sent them into the group, guys. One second. Okay, so I just sent 2 of those into the group. Yes, guys. So you can look at the videos into the group for a reminder for this. Cool. But it's not so bad still. I really don't think that was so bad. Guys, I'm not gonna do this question here. Why? I don't see it coming on the exam. I've seen nothing about this related to speed and stuff, average speed and so on. So I'm not gonna do that one. Sorry?
No, I don't think that one was coming.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming. I don't see anything for it, so I'm not doing it. So moving on to some circle theorem, guys. It says here the diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows a circle. So this is a circle theorem question. And it says here, right here is 44 degrees. Cool. So it says here, find EHF. Remember, H is the middle. Yes, E to H to F. So let's find that angle there. Where's E? EHF, which is E to H to F. So they want us to find this angle right here. Cool. So that angle is easy to find, guys. Very easy to find. Why is it easy to find, guys? Anytime you have a tangent out here, anytime you have a tangent and you draw the two tangents to the circle, right? That means over here and over here are equal. So where do you call that? Sorry about that. It's E, yes. So E to F, which is right here, guys. E to F and E to H are equal. So if right there, if we need to find right there, guys, here is also the same because it's an isosceles triangle. So long story short, 180 minus 44 degrees would give us these two angles here, which is actually 136 degrees. So 136 degrees, guys, should be equal to X and X, which is 2X. These angles are the same because it's an isosceles triangle. And if we divide both sides by 2, we should end up with 68. X is equal to 68 degrees. So this angle is 68 degrees for sure. Yes, it's 68. So up here, guys, is 68 degrees. But I also want you guys to know as well that remember, if up there is 68 degrees, here has to be 68 as well. So that's why it's 68 degrees, guys. So I think that one was kind of easy because you always have a isosceles triangle. All right, guys. So does that make sense to everybody? Is everybody okay with this one? It's not too bad.
Yes, sir.
So the next one, guys, says find FGH. So let's just rub everything off for the moment. And it says find F to G to H, right? Cool. So FGH. So that angle is at the G, which is right here. So let's call it A. We need to find that angle over there. So man, this one kind of interesting still. I know right here is 90 degrees. Cool, but how do I find over there now? How do I find over there? Somebody look like they were talking in the chat. Reason for my answer? Reason for my answer? Oh yes, it says here, well, does it ask? Give a reason for your answer. For the first one, reason for my answer is angles, well, lines drawn at the tangent of a circle form an isosceles triangle. So I think this is rule number 6. Let's go back to the rules just for a second for circle theorem. So guys, for circle theorem, I don't know if you guys notice, but I always send you the same set of videos for it because truth is, it's the same theorems every single time. It's the same theorems every single time. Let's just go back to the rules for a second. This is the video I always send you guys. All right, bro. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor, Bridget. Okay, so this is the rule. Two tangents to a circle from the same point are equal in length. That's the rule you need. So notice here, both of these are equal in length. That's why it forms the isosceles triangle. So that's really the rule we need for that one. Lines drawn to a tangent to a circle form the isosceles triangle. That's what I would say. It's the same thing as saying the tangents are the same length. Tangents are the same length. So I would use this still. What I say here is perfectly fine. Lines drawn to a tangent of a circle form an isosceles triangle. So that's why these two should be the same, 68, 68. Cool. So let's double check this though. Let's finish this one now. It says here we need to find FGH. So we need to find, let's call it G over here. We need to find this angle. But how would we find that angle though, guys? Real thing. How do we find that angle? Oh yeah, oh, this is well easy to find actually. This is so easy. Anybody here with me? Everybody watching?
Yes, sir.
Angles from the same arc at the circumference are equal. Number two. Number two. Angles from the same arc at the circumference are equal. Really? Well, number two kind of easy to me. Well, but let me just show you how I find it. So guys, this here and here, this is a 90-degree angle as well. Meaning OG to F to E is 90 degrees. I don't know if you guys notice. It's 90 degrees. So here to here is a radius, and anytime the tangent meets a radius, it meets at 90 degrees. So I would actually use this rule here, see it here? Radius at 90 degrees, tangent and the radius meet at a 90-degree angle. So that's what I'm going to use to solve that question, guys. So here, because right there is 90 degrees, guys, that means that here, sorry, let me rub it out a bit. That means that here is this angle here. Let me just shade it. This region right here is actually 90 minus 68. Cool. 90 minus 68. That's exactly how much it is. So once I find that now, I should be able to find the other angle. Make sense, guys?
Yeah. And that's
All right, guys. So if I subtract 90 from the 68 now, 90 minus 68, this should give me 22 degrees, right?
No, wait, yeah, 22.
Yeah, so here will be 22 degrees, and here is 90. So here would be 90 minus 22. So here is actually 68 too. Am I right, guys? But somebody said in the chat though, somebody said in the chat a while ago that angles from the same arc at the circumference are equal, number two. So angles from the same arc, That's
technically the 68, 68, if you look at it from another way.
Which way? Help me out.
Because if you look at H and F,
Yeah.
I think the person is trying to say that's an arc. So I don't know if he's trying to say that because of the arcs are there. The arc is there between F and H, that it's equal.
Meaning, I'm not sure how they got the arc. It's kind of weird, eh? I don't see the arc. I don't see how he got it any other way. I'm not seeing how you get it another way, to be honest. Who was that though? Let me just check in the chat to see who. Sorry, guys. So sorry about that. Let me check in the chat. I'm having a hard time. Who was that? Jay. Jay, you want to explain how you got 68 there as well? Maybe she was talking about something else. But for the second one though, it's definitely 22 right there. So up there would be 68. And I would say angles, my reason for my answer would be angles in a triangle. And angles in a semicircle. Angles in a semicircle, because that would give me the 90 degrees here, and then angles in a triangle. And I'd also say like the 6th rule, the other rule here too. That one to get the 90 degrees. Tangent and a radius meet at 90 degrees. I'd put that too. Tangent and a radius. Meet at 90. So I used all of those 3 things to find my answer. So I'd write those. So guys, just remember to give a reason for your answer though. Like when you do find the answer, give a reason for it. Cool. Yes, please give a reason for your answer. But what else they're asking us for here though in this question? Let's just double check. All right, JGH. JGH. So let's rub this out for a second, guys, and try to find J to G to H. So J, G, H. I think that's 90 degrees, don't? I think so. It looks like 90 degrees to me. Is it?
And wouldn't that be opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral are equal? So if F is equal, wouldn't G be equal as well?
I think so. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely angles in a cyclic quadrilateral. But I think this cyclic quadrilateral, well, it's just dead even, like 90, 90, 90, 90 right across. Am I right? Yeah. So yeah, let me just double check it though. Let me just double check the last one. So I think it's 90 degrees. It just looks like 90 degrees for me. Yeah, it's 90 degrees, guys. It's so obvious to see. I mean, yeah, it's 90 degrees. This one well obvious to like this one, 90 degrees, no doubt. Yeah, it's I don't even know why they would give such an easy one. So let's look at all of the ones that asked us for though. So the first one, EHF. That first one is 68 degrees. Then the next one is also 68 degrees. FGH is also 68 degrees. And then the next one they ask us now, JHE, this is 90 degrees for sure still. I mean, it's so obvious that it's 90 degrees. Let's look at it one more time, guys. It's 90 degrees. Yeah, it's so obvious. Yeah, it's really, really obvious that that's 90 degrees still. So let's just clear the screen for a second. Let's make it kind of smoother. Let me scroll down. So yes, this one is 68. This one is 68. This one is 90 degrees. And the last one now, it says JGH, JGH, JHE, JHE. Okay, let's double check them, guys. So JHE. Yeah, this is 90 degrees too, guys. This is definitely 90 degrees. Why is this 90 degrees, guys? Remember, the radius always meets the tangent at 90 degrees. So this JHE, guys, right here, J to H to E, is 90 degrees because the tangent, the reason is the tangent always meets the radius at 90 degrees. So if you look here, guys, the tangent is right here and the radius is right here. So here would have to be 90 degrees, no doubt. And in the last one now, it says JGH. So let's look at that, J to G to H, J to G to H. And this one is so obvious to see that that's 90 degrees still. Like J to G to H is definitely 90 degrees. What would be my reasoning for that one though? What would be my reasoning for that one? Why? I would say angles in a semicircle still. Let's go back to it just for a second. I would say angles in a semicircle, guys. So if you notice, let's look at this. This is a radius here, right? Sorry, this is not a radius, it's a diameter. So here to here to here, that would have to be 90 degrees too. Does that make sense? Because of angles in a, so for this last one, J to G to H, is, and the reason is angles in a semicircle form a 90-degree angle. And it's kind of obvious to see, guys, like, see, this is where the diameter is. And if you draw any point, any 2 points, it would form a 90-degree angle. Am I right? All of these would be 90 degrees. So yeah, pretty easy. I think the circle theorem was easy still, straight up. This one wasn't so bad at all. Rule number 3 in the video. Okay, cool. I get you now, Jay. Rule number 3. Let's just double check. Oh, but I'm not really seeing rule number 3, Jay. I'm not seeing rule number 3. Angles at the same arc are equal. I'm not really seeing the arcs. I'm not really seeing the arcs. But guys, everybody okay with this one? I think this one is okay. Anybody need more clarity with anything here? So it's 68, 68, 90, and 90 for sure. Cool, and let's move on. So this one now says the diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows 2 ships, R and S, at the anchor on a lake of calm water. FT is a vertical tower and FSR is a straight line. The angles of elevation at the top of the tower are RS and 22 degrees and 40 degrees respectively. So find the measure of R to T to S, the angle of R to T to S. Wow, this is not an easy one, is it? It's kind of difficult, guys. I think you have to use like the sine rule for this. But this one kind of easy still. Let's just work it out, guys. Let me just show you. This one easy to me still. So if here's 40 degrees, guys, angles on a triangle add up to 180. So here would be 120. Cool. So if here's 40, well, not 120, it would be 188 minus 4. This would be 140 right here. Does that make sense, guys? So if here's 22, they ask us for the angle up here, R to T to S. So they're asking you for this angle here. So it would be 180 minus 140 minus 22, and that would be equal to 40 minus 22, which is how much? 18 degrees. So up there would be 18 degrees, guys. So that part kind of easy to solve.
Someone's asking what topic is this in the chat.
What topic is this? Trigonometry, guys. This is a trig question. This is a trigonometry question, guys. That's why we're doing it. So this is a trig question for sure. It's a very hard trig question though. Like I doubt that the sine rule is gonna come. I'm not really seeing anything related to the sine rule, but just in case, you know, just in case. Let's just do it. So to find up there, they ask us to find up there is 18 degrees. The next thing they ask us to find is the length of ST. So they ask us to find S to T. So we'll have to use the sine rule for that, guys, to find S to T. So ST over sine 22 is equal to 150 over sine 18 degrees. Cool. And we'd end up with ST being equal to 150 over sine 18 times sine 22. And this would give you 181.8 meters. This one kind of hard, guys. As I say, I really hope this will come. But I'm just doing it just because. Yes, and then they ask you to find FT, which is here to here. So guys, since we have the length of ST now, we can definitely find there. So there is kind of easier now, guys. This is more common sense now. So we're gonna use tan for that. So tan 40 degrees is equal to, remember, tan is opposite over adjacent. Cool. Well, no. We can use sine. Sorry about that. Let's use sine 40. Sine 40 degrees is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Cool. But in this case, S to T is the hypotenuse, the 181.8. So we're going to say 181.8 divided by the opposite side is equal to sine 40. So we're going to end up with 181.8 times sine 40 is equal to the opposite side, and then the opposite side would be equal to 116.9. So guys, this one was rough. It really was. This one was really rough, but I just did it just in case. I really hope you don't get a sine rule question, but you may get a trigonometry question, meaning just like a sine question, like the last part. But I just really hope you don't get a sine rule question, to be honest. I hope you don't. But this wasn't too bad still. It wasn't that bad. But I did it just in case. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it because I don't see the sine rule stuff in the exam, but I just did it just in case. And let's move on to vectors and matrices. You're definitely gonna get this. So let's go through that for sure. You're gonna get vectors and you're gonna get matrices. So let's go through all of these. Vectors and matrices. So it says here, position vectors of points A, B, and C relative to the origin are OA, OB, OC. So it says here, find A to B, right? So let's just put a point here, guys. O, this is A, this is B, this is C. Cool. So remember, guys, this is how we always do it. It's the same thing, you know, guys, every time for vectors. Vectors kind of easy to me, but let's work it out. So O to A, O to B, O to C. Then they're asking us to find AB. So AB, guys, let me make it in blue. AB would have to be from A to O and O to B. So AB is actually AO plus OB. But AO is the opposite of OA, guys. So it's going to be -2, 2. See, this is 2 and -2. It changed sign. Plus OB, which is 6, 1. So the answer for this one would be 4, 3. Cool. Then A to C is the same thing, guys. Let me just draw it on the thing. A to O, then O to C. So same thing. It's going to be AO plus OC, which is the same thing as -2, 2 plus 10, 4, which is 8, 6. So that's the answer for those two. And that's it. That's it, guys. Simple. Everybody understand this? Is it making sense to you guys?
Sir, the first one, you get the 4-3. I'm not understand how you get 4-3.
Oh, I get the 4, 3.
You take away 2 from 6, right?
I add them. Minus
Two
2
from,
minus 2 plus 6 will give me 4. This is negative 2,
and then 2
and
and
then plus 6 will give me 4. And then 2 plus 1 gives me the 3.
you say you add them, it kind of sound it's funny to see you add. In my
You can
mind, you say
you
add.
can add negative numbers, you know. You can add negative numbers, you know. If you add 2 negative numbers, you get a negative. You can add negative numbers, like you can. Adding does not mean just positive. Adding doesn't mean
Oh.
positive at all, actually. Adding just mean adding.
Sir,
And I'm gonna
it's when
give you,
you say you add.
I'm gonna give you a very good example of this.
Okay.
Let's say you owe somebody money,
Okay.
right? And you say, hey, lend me some more money, so I'll add to how much I owe you. Make sense? So you really, if you're borrowing more money, you're putting more negatives on your balance, but you're still adding to your negative balance. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. So adding doesn't mean negative. Adding doesn't mean positive. Does that make sense? Adding does not mean positive all the
Sir,
time.
one question, sir. Why you switch
Why did I
the
switch the
negative?
values for these?
Yeah.
Because O to A is 2 minus 2, right? But guys, the only way to travel with the vector from A to B, it has to be from A to O, then O to B. So you travel this way, then that way. So it's opposite. It's opposite OA. OA is in this direction, you know. OB is also in this direction as well, and OC is in that direction. But to travel from A to B, you have to go back through the origin. So back through O, then to B. So you notice this is AO, which is the opposite of OA. That's why I changed the values. You have to change the values. And this is how vectors always is, guys, especially these types of questions. So let me just do it one more time. Let me rub this out and draw it one more time for you. So you have 3 points. See it here? 3 points, A, B, and C. A, B, C. A, B, C. Then all of these are relative to the origin, O. So I'm going to draw it 1, 2, 3. All of them are going in the same direction, O to A, O to B, O to C. But if you want to travel from A to B, you have to go back through the origin from A to O and O to B. And this is actually the opposite direction at first. So from A to O is the opposite direction, which is why you have to change the sign. Then from O to B is the same direction, which is why you leave this one as 6-1 and you don't change that sign. Make sense, you know, Tori?
Yes, sir.
And this is how you always do it, guys. This is how you always do it. We only get position vectors, no other type of vectors. No, they have other types of vectors on the exam. From what I see in the questions they may ask you for different types. So let me go back to the topics just for a second. We'll go back to the topics just for a second. Cool. So for vectors, they say position vectors. Well, they only say position vectors. They say operations with matrices, inverse of matrices, position vectors, and vector geometry, triangle law, parallelogram law. So yeah, they may ask you something else related to vectors. This is not the only type of vectors that might come, but this one came in this paper. So we're just doing this one. But this is position vectors, guys. And position vectors is always the same like this. Always, every time. It's easy, very easy. Always this way. So guys, let me clear this. Let me move on though. I want to move on. And it says here, yes, it says here, hence determine whether A, B, and C are collinear and give reasons for your answer. And that one I use is still, how much marks I give you? 3 marks. Okay, cool. All right, so we need to prove that A, B, and C are collinear, guys.
AB is twice as long as AC.
Right, that's why. That's exactly why. All right, guys. So the reason why they're collinear, guys, is because as you can see, guys, if we look carefully, sorry about that. If we look carefully, guys, A to B, AB, which we just found, has 4, 3. So AB is actually twice as long as AC. All right, so AC is equal to 2 times AB. So this is why they're collinear, guys. So if you're able to find a factor out of the other, meaning 2 times or 3 times or whatever the case is, then it's collinear. In this case, it's definitely collinear, guys. Why? AC is equal to 2 times AB, which is 4, 3. So if I multiply 4, 3 by 2, I'm gonna get my same value for AC, 8, 6. So that means that they're collinear. Cool. So it's not that bad to understand. You just need to know that since this one is 4, 3 and this one is 8, 6, and you can find a factor of both, then it's definitely A, B, and C are collinear because AC is equal to 2 times AB. If you find it being 3 times AB, guys, it's also collinear. If you find it as 4 times AB, it's also collinear. You just need to find a factor. Cool. So not too bad, not too bad. So that pretty much finished the vectors. All right, so now we have a matrix, guys. We definitely have a matrix. So it says here, determine the value of X for which the matrix is singular. Cool. So guys, a matrix is only singular when the determinant is equal to 0. So 3 times 4 plus X times 2 should be equal to 0. A matrix is singular when the determinant of the matrix is equal to 0. Cool. So that's something to remember, guys. If you guys don't remember that, please write that down still. A matrix is singular when the determinant is equal to 0. Yeah, when the determinant is equal to 0. So guys, you know how to find the determinant of a matrix, guys? It's really easy. You just cross multiply 3 times 4, X times 2 plus X times 2 should be equal to 0. So this should be 12 plus 2X is equal to 0, which means that 2X is equal to negative 12. So X is equal to minus 6. So that's the answer, guys. 3, 2, minus 6, 4. That would make the matrix singular. So the answer is minus 6. Cool. Anybody have any issues with this one? Repeat. Let me repeat it for you, Jay. You need to find the determinant and set it equal to 0. So a matrix is singular. It says the matrix is singular. So the matrix is singular when the determinant is equal to 0. So to find the determinant of any matrix, J, you have to cross multiply 3 times 4 plus 2 times X should give you the determinant. But in this case, it's 0. So that's why we end up with X being equal to minus 6. This is the case where the matrix is equal to, that's the case where the matrix is equal to 0. So that's the case where the determinant is equal to 0. So 3, 2, minus 6, 4, that's the matrix we need in order for you to get 0 as a determinant. Cool. I hope it makes sense to you guys. Yes, so let's move on, guys. Let's move on from this. This one now says N and P are 2x2 matrices such that this, and all I need to do is multiply N times P. So 4, 3, 1, 2 multiplied by 1, 5, 2, 1. You guys remember how to multiply matrices, guys? Row by column, row, column. So the first space is 4 times 1 plus 1 times 2, row, column, row, column, row by column, remember? So that's the first space. The second space is first row, second column. So 4 times 5, 4 times 5 plus 1 times 1. Cool. So that's it. And then the next one is the second row by the first column. So this is 3 times 1 plus 2 times 2. Then the next one is the second row by the second column. So that's 3 times 5 plus 2 times 1. So when we work that out now, guys, we're going to end up with 4 times 1 plus 1 times 2. This is 4 plus 2, 3 plus 4, 15 plus 2, 20 plus 1. So this is 21, 17, 6, and 7. So this is the matrix when you multiply it, guys. This is equal to NP. Cool. This is cool, guys. Man, I feel so tired. Oh man, how do you guys feel? You guys feeling tired? I don't know how come I end up doing one paper in a whole day too. How you guys feeling? Go ahead, Tori, sorry. Tired too, yeah, I feel tired, man. Didn't know it was asking to multiply. Yes, it's definitely asking to multiply. NP means N times P. NP is the same thing as N times P. So we definitely need to multiply there. All right, so this one says, given that Pn is equal to 19, 11, 11, and 4, determine whether the matrix multiplication is commutative, meaning that NP is equal to Pn. So it's not commutative, guys. It is not commutative because NP is not equal to Pn. So it's definitely not commutative, guys. And the reason why it's not commutative is because Pn is not equal to what we found. If they were commutative, then it would be the same. Cool. So it's definitely not equal. It's not commutative. So let's move on. The next one now says find the inverse. So guys, we can find the inverse for sure though. Let's just give ourselves some space here to find the inverse. So we can always find the inverse, guys. Maybe you guys need a refresher on matrices. Please do a little refresher on matrices and vectors, because you're gonna get it on the exam. So just make sure you can find the inverse, make sure you can multiply, make sure you can add matrices. Cool. So it says find the inverse, guys, of n, not even NP. It says find the inverse of n. So guys, we need to look at n. N is 4, 1, 3, 2. So we need to find the inverse of this matrix, guys. So how do you find the inverse of a matrix, guys? I don't know if you remember, but to find the inverse of a matrix, it's 1 over the determinant of n times the adjoint matrix. So all we need to do now, guys, is find the determinant. So the determinant of n, guys, is equal to 4 times 2, cross multiply, 4 times 2 minus 1 times 3. This would give us 8 minus 3, which is equal to 5. So this is 1 over 5, and then we need to find n adjoint. How do we find the adjoint matrix, guys? Switch the main diagonal. So we should get 2 and 4, switch the main diagonal, and then put negatives on the others. So this is -1, -3. This is A adjoint. So switch the main diagonal and then put negatives on the other. So this should be A adjoint, 2 minus 1 minus 3, 4. I would just need to multiply that now. So the inverse is actually 2 over 5 minus 1 over 5 minus 1 over 5 minus 3 over 5 and 4 over 5. And that's the inverse, guys, for n. So that's the answer. And it says here, hence calculate the values of x and y for which 4132 times xy is equal to 1/2. So this is kind of easy, guys. All we have to do is say xy is equal to 1, 2 multiplied by the inverse, which is 2 over 5 minus 3 over 5 minus 1 over 5 and 4 over 5. So that's all we have to do, guys. And it's kind of easy. Yeah, it's kind of easy. But hold on, this needs to be over here. We need to multiply this by 1/2, guys. Well, not 1/2, 1 and 2. So when we multiply that by 1 and 2 now, guys, we should get row by column. So this is equal to 2 over 5 plus, well, 2 over 5 minus 2 over 5 minus 2 over 5. That's the first spot. So row by column. Then the next one is going to be row by column, which is minus 3 over 5 plus 8 over 5. So that's going to end up being, this is going to end up being 0, and it's going to end up being 1. So we're going to get 0 and 1. So that means x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1. Yeah, that's exactly what we should do. So we just need to multiply the inverse by the 1 and the 2 to get our answer for x and y. That's exactly what we need to do. So yeah, that's exactly what we need to do for that one. So we're almost done, guys, almost done. This paper 2 took us all day though. Yeah. Yeah, 0 and 1, that's what we're supposed to get. And I think that's it. I think that's the end of the paper. That's the end of the paper, guys. That's the end of the paper. Yeah, that's it. After that, we're done. So we're finished. We finished the paper at least. We finished the whole of May 2016. We did everything pretty much. But man, I'm tired. I didn't expect to take too long on this. I didn't expect to take too long. I thought by now I'd have probably finished a paper 2 or a paper 1, sorry. Man, I didn't expect that at all. So guys, how you guys feeling? You know, talk to me, guys. Talk to me. I really want to know how you're feeling. Let me just check. Adrian, how you feeling, man? Was today helpful? Denise, how you feeling as well?
Good man, sir. So I think them they have to stay.
All right. Denise, how you feeling? Ariana, how you feeling? Lots of exposure, Ariana. Deshaun, how you feeling as well? Tori, how you feeling about today? Jay, Today was good. Needed this though. All right. So Aquino said needed this.
Yes,
Tori
sir. Today
was
was
good.
good.
Jay,
Just need to practice Monday and Tuesday.
yeah, we need to practice Monday and Tuesday for sure. So Jay, Jaden,
Sir, that me just I go say that if you could give it tomorrow and Tuesday too.
yeah, I have to, guys. I have to work with you
What-
guys tomorrow and Tuesday.
So you
Um,
schedule a time, sir? What time tomorrow?
I was thinking 8 p.m. though, guys. What I was actually thinking about doing tomorrow is, I want to YouTube live. So I want to go on YouTube live. So instead of having class on Zoom, I think I might just use YouTube live. I might use Zoom same way, but I still want to YouTube live tomorrow and just the multiple choice. So just like how we did at paper 2 today, I want to YouTube live and then the multiple choice.
Oh,
And you can invite anybody, anybody who doing CXC math and stuff and might need help. And I think I might start at about 8. It might be late, and I'm just gonna YouTube live, do some multiple choice, go through as many multiple choice as I can. And then Tuesday night, is back to paper 2. I think we should just do as much paper 2 too. So I need to go through multiple choice. I need to go through the multiple choice tomorrow. And then Tuesday again is more paper 2. So let me just go back. Go ahead.
So, sir, for the 2 days is 8.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 8. I think it's going to be 8 p.m. guys. I think it might be kind of late. Or is that too late, guys? What do you think? You think I should start earlier?
Same
time is
Can you
kinda
start
late.
earlier?
same 6.
Same 6. Yeah, I think I'm gonna work with 6, guys. I think I'm gonna work with 6. I'm gonna have to cancel some other classes because I have some young students on Monday and Tuesday at 6. But I think I'm gonna talk to their parents and give them the week off. And just work with you guys tomorrow night and Tuesday night. So guys, I don't think it makes sense to overdo it now. I think it might make sense to work with 6 tomorrow. So let's work with 6 tomorrow, guys. I think I might YouTube live same way though, but let's work with 6 p.m. tomorrow, guys. I'm gonna speak to the other students I have, the parents, and tell them that no class tomorrow. But guys, we need to go through more tomorrow and Tuesday. We only have 2 days left, so I think we should work with that. 6 p.m. tomorrow, guys, same time. I don't know what time we're going to finish, maybe 10. Just do as much as we can. So tomorrow, 6 p.m. And of course, Tuesday, 6 p.m., guys. I think that's the best thing to do. Yes, that's what we need to do. And tomorrow, guys, I want to go through this multiple choice. So this multiple choice paper, May 2019, I want to go through it. This is the paper I want to go through. I want to go through the most recent multiple choice papers because remember, 25 questions repeat, guys. A lot of questions repeat. So we need to go through our multiple choice so that we can go through some questions and I can flag the ones to say, guys, this one tends to repeat, So that's the first thing we're doing tomorrow at 6, guys. Multiple choice, for sure. And then if we can finish this multiple choice and do some more paper 2, then fine. But I sent these into the group already, guys. So if you want to do them tonight or a little more, try to do it. And then Tuesday night, we just have to go all out, guys. Like really just have to go all out Tuesday. Do a lot of paper 2 and 2 questions on Tuesday. I'm going to try and go through some formulas that you guys need to know. Let me just do that right now as well. There's some formulas, guys, that you're just going to need to know. Cool?
Yes, sir.
There are a couple of formulas you're just going to need to know, guys. So one of them, let me just talk about it from now as well. The gradient formula, guys. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You're going to need to know this. Cool. Second one, y is equal to mx plus c. Putting things in this form. You're going to need to know that. Cool. Let me give you a next one as well that you might need to know. The trig rules, guys. Sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. and tan is equal to opposite over adjacent. You're gonna need to know this. Cool. So these are some formulas you need to know. This is in the formula sheet anyway, so you don't really have to worry too much about this one. But these two are not in the formula sheet, so you need to know that, guys. You just need to know them. You need to know these two. Need to know this. Another one you need to know, guys, related to these two as well. You need to know the reciprocal formula. So for the perpendicular line, the gradient, the new gradient being -1 over the old gradient. You need to know that. You need to know that, What else would you need to know? Let me just think about it for a second.
Quadratic,
Quadratics. Which quadratics you mean?
like the quadratic formula and the quadratic equation.
Well, that's on the formula sheet. That's on the formula sheet. Let me rub this one out too, guys, because this is on the formula sheet. I'm trying to think of stuff that not on the formula sheet that you might just need to know, right? Everything else is on the formula sheet, but these are not on the formula sheet, which is why I say you need to know them.
Y equals kx and y.
Yeah, that one. The direct variation question, y is equal to kx and y is equal to kx squared sometimes. So this is direct variation. So let me write that a little better. Direct variation. And indirect. For indirect, guys, is y is equal to k over x, or y is equal to k over x squared. You're gonna need to know that, you know. There are a couple stuff you might need to know. The profit percentage formula I just talked about as well. Profit percentage, selling price minus cost price over the cost price times 100. Same thing with the loss percentage. It's the opposite, CP minus SP over CP times 100. You need to know that just in case. Right, so these formulas don't come on the formula sheet. So you would need to know these. You know, you need to know these just in case they come. But yeah, but that's about it, guys. I don't really, nothing else is really coming to mind right now. Let me just look back on the paper one more time. Nothing else really. Nothing else coming to mind right now. Just double check through our paper too. Simple interest, right? Simple interest you might need to know. For guys, for consumer arithmetic, I think you should try to look over this section. There are a couple formulas in this that you might need to know, but I'm not really seeing it as a part of the exam. I see a couple stuff, but I don't really think it makes sense to go through all of these videos for consumer arithmetic just to remember all the formulas still. But simple interest is definitely one that doesn't come on the formula sheet. So let me write it down. Simple interest is equal to PIT. It's very easy to remember, the principal times the interest times the time. PIT, so simple interest is equal to PIT. Compound interest, guys, is equal to the principal times 1 plus I over 100 to the time. So yes, these are some that you just don't get on the formula sheet. Yeah. But other than these formulas, guys, we just need to practice, no? Just need to practice. Practice your weaknesses, guys. Anything you're weak at right now, just try to get those under your belt as much as you can. Think about your weaknesses. If you're weak at circle theorem, guys, watch this video. Cool? You're weak at circle theorem in particular, watch this video that I always use, this one here. Watch it. If you're weak at matrices, in particular, I have matrices videos. Matrices might be something you want to go over. Go over matrices, you know, go over matrices.
Sir, what that channel the name, sir?
Which channel? Which channel?
What you that show with the circle theorem?
It's a GCE channel still. It's a GCE channel. I can send this video into the group
Theorem.
though. I think I've sent it into the group many times though. Because I always send this video into the group related to circle theorem. It has all the rules that you can use to remember. So you want to go through these. They have examples in it too. If you need some help with circle theorem, go through this video. For matrices as well, let me just look at my channel. I have some videos on matrices as well. See here, vectors and matrices. So if you want to find the determinant, guys, I have the video there. How to find the determinant, how to find the adjoint matrix, how to find the inverse. You want to go through these, to be honest. You do. Yeah, you want to go through these, guys. So cool. Maybe I should send this into the group, this playlist. Yeah, maybe I should send this playlist into the group. So guys, I have this short playlist. You want to know how to do these, find the adjoint matrix, the determinant, the inverse. You want to know how to multiply matrices too. Multiply and add. Yeah, you want to know how to multiply and add matrices. Yeah. So guys, I'm out though. I'm so tired. I'm tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. But guys, I think we went pretty hard today. 5 hours of class. It's a long class. This is a really long class, even though we only finished one paper too. But can you send the recording into the group? Yes, I will send the recording for sure. Depreciation and appreciation, Jay. Yes, those are some formulas that don't come on the formula sheet. So might need to know them. And yes, I'm gonna send the recording into the group for sure, guys. But guys, enjoy your Sunday. Have a good Sunday dinner. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Cool.
All right, take care. Yeah.
All right, guys, take care.